Hey, Connor.
Hi.
Hey, mate. Let's hope we don't get copyright for that one today.
What's this, 3 weeks in a row?
3 weeks in a row of copyright content.
Strikes.
That's a banger. Surely that's a banger.
What?
It's not my fault.
I've never heard it in my life.
It's all over the radio.
Radio schmadio. You think I listen to that shite?
I walk around the house and it's just like playing on the radio, and I'm like, it's not my fault. I'm riding that Mean Girls high at the moment.
If you turn on the radio, all it is the same songs. It's Miley Cyrus, it's Dua Lipa, it's
Renee Rapp.
It's
not my fault.
And Megan Thee Stallion, bit of Doja, bit of Ed Sheeran. It's not my fault that
you're obsessed with me.
And in an hour's time, they'll just replay them and replay them.
Well, have you noticed that we talk about the same topics often on this podcast over and over again? Sometimes within an hour's time. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I think it is almost a creator's job to try to
rinse and repeat.
No, to try not to do that. To try and be original enough to try and keep an audience and engage them.
It's not my fault.
And is that the song name? I don't get. Do you want to tell the audience your obsession this week?
I'm just really into Mean Girls.
Okay, for a film that you didn't really like, it's literally all you've been talking about. You've even texted me about it.
I'm like a sucker for musicals. So like the music's just been in my head the whole time. There's a
You're gonna love that episode of Docu Who.
The musical episode. Oh, I literally was thinking that, because I've been in the vibe for musicals since then. I rewatched La La Land the other day.
I can see you're having a fun day. Meet my friend. She's Ruby Sunday.
We are a Doctor Who podcast, folks. We're a 50% Doctor Who podcast. But we like to talk about Doctor Who 50% of the time. Today we're going to be talking about Ark in Space as our main feature, our main sort of review. But that'll be coming up a little bit later in the show. You had your mouth open. I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd bring something new in every week,
right?
Because
awesome.
You've been saying that to me. So I got Monsuta. I've drank these beers. They're Japanese beer.
I was going to say it's Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried their beer and it's really nice. But this is an alcoholic pineapple vodka.
Is that two standard drinks?
Yeah, don't tell my mum.
Wow, and it's not a massive can either, so that's nice.
7.3. It's even got, I know you can't see, but it's got like Japanese writing on it, and it's got the little, what are they called when you're blind? It's got the little,
that was, I can't,
when you're blind, you can only touch.
Yeah, I know the word, but I can't think of it right now.
I love it. A blind person in a bar, right. Like.
That's can, please.
Pineapple.
That sounds good to me.
Pineapple, let's try it.
That is great. That's really, and that's one thing I noticed in Japan. Was how it's like inclusive they were. They did have a lot of. Is it called like brine? Brine
is in tuna.
Right, maybe not that, but it's there was a lot of like everything had that sort of accessibility about it, which was really good.
You always can touch, dude. I smell that. That smells beautiful. Smell the pineapple.
Ooh. Sorry, my lip got a little bit too close than that for what you would like.
Nose. All right, let's try it.
Have the taste test, mate. The taste test of death.
Wow, that literally tastes just like pineapple.
Yeah, that's good. I'm drinking a Canadian Club and Dry today, which,
standard bitch.
I don't think I've drunk that on the pod before. Maybe I have.
There was a time when you had the spirit.
So I was pre-mixing it myself.
You pre-mixed, like a machine.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Well, these were just hanging around in the fridge, so I thought why not?
You always say that. You always say, like, I have so much stuff in the fridge. I swear, in my house, nothing lasts. Like,
well, we had a big classic old school Bucks party at my house a couple of weeks ago. And,
old school, baby.
We had you know what I'm saying.
Old school.
We had a lot of drinks left over from that, and so they sort of got split up between. Obviously we hosted it at this house, and groomsmen took a few and stuff, but we ended up with a lot of free alcohol at the house. So that was
the rule is, if you leave it.
It's mine.
It's mine, yeah.
That's mine! That's a Star Wars The Force Awakens reference. If anyone gives a fuck about Star Wars. Mandalorian and Grogu, what's going on there?
Oh, that's Simon Pegg's character.
Yeah. What do you think about this Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
What do I think about it? I think it's a fucking... I couldn't give less of a shit. Like, how could you take the most precious cinema moment in my life? I don't think I'll ever feel as hyped as I ever was for anything ever.
The Force Awakens.
Than The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
My heart beating out of my chest when the fucking Lucasfilm shrine
Luke Skywalker has vanished. Oh,
Just nothing. No drug
Did you
in
come?
the world. I didn't come, but
damn.
no drug in the world
Just me
could
then.
possibly. A few people did. Turn the flash off, you fucking moron. Da-da-da-da. You seen that? Someone in the midnight screen.
I'll never forget our midnight screening for it. When, spoiler alert, when Kylo Ren stabs, or lightsabers, whatever you want to call it, Han Solo.
Yeah.
Obviously, our audience was like, there was like a couple little gasps, and someone like freaked out so much that they had their lightsaber in their hand and they clenched it, and like it was like dead silent,
Right.
and then you just heard,
Yeah.
and this
And
massive red lightsaber ignited.
It kind of got us ready for things to come. you
Well,
know?
it was as it happened in the movie, really. So
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy times.
Yeah.
Mandalorian Grogu can get fucked. The worst thing is the name. Why are they calling it that? Just give it a good name.
I think that just seems like such a working title. I think it's because they know that, you know, Grogu is a fucking money printing
But
machine.
general public don't associate the name Grogu with Baby Yoda. They know him as Baby Yoda. They don't really give a shit about the nerdy name Grogu. So it's like, I think The Mandalorian, the movie, works better as a title. I feel like a lot of general public will be like, who the fuck's Grogu?
Also, as well, I think this will be the first time we'll see a Star Wars movie. I'm not trying to say it will like underperform massively, but I think we'll see a bit of a dip.
Yeah.
Considering we haven't had a Star Wars film since what, 2019? 2019?
That was Rise of Skywalker,
Rise of
unfortunately.
Sky, that fucking absolute piece of garbage.
Speaking of dips, we have a Kofi. Dip because
A dip. Dip into your pockets and share some love.
yes, that's definitely what I was going for there.
Okay.
So you can donate to our Kofi. It's linked down below. I've also got a Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. We like to chat over there. And you can follow us on TikTok at the 50% Doctor Who podcast. At 50 Doctor Who. I've really fucked this up today.
That's right.
At 50 Doctor Who on TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already on the YouTube channel. On the Spotify, hit us with that 5-star rating. We'd love to look good.
50% cat. What is this I held in my hand?
It's a purple envelope, audio
It's
listeners.
a card from Vinny. Every year, Vinny sends us a card. And this time, I forgot to bring it in multiple
It's now mid-February, and Connor has finally brought in a lovely Christmas card
cute.
from Vinny. Did she make that herself?
Yes, she did.
Oh, that's amazing.
It reads, to Con and Aidan,
I'm glad I'm on there too.
happy Christmas to you both. I can fucking...
I know,
Didn't this happen last
this is
time?
awkward.
Thank you for being my closest pals despite living on the other side of the world. I love you both dearly. Plus, cannot wait to hurry out to see you in person one day. Love, Vin. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vin.
That's very sweet. And by the way, I wanted to say, this is the thing that I thought we could do. If you ever want to send us mail, DM me on Instagram, and I might start a thing where
OnlyFans.
it's not fucking hell. It's like maybe like I don't want to say like a PO box, but there must be like a public place where you can send mail to. Obviously, I'm not going to give my address. But if you do want to send us something for us to open on the show, if anyone wants to, DM me on Instagram. I can probably give like a public area, like a public post office where you can send it to, and we can open it on the show. Don't send stuff into my mailbox. With peace and love, it will be tossed. If I don't know it's coming, it goes in my mailbox, it will be tossed. So just DM me and say if you want to. I don't know if people want to do that.
One time,
But we'll try and figure something out. I don't know if people want to do that. But
one time we did Secret Santa with my friend group, and my friend got a big dildo as part of the Secret Santa, right?
how big are we talking?
Like it was just a good one,
Okay.
you know, like intimidating to me, you know.
Okay.
Anyways, I think a couple of days later it was my birthday, and they re-gifted it to me as part of their birthday present, and they gave it to me, and I was like, that's great, I love that I have a dildo now. So when actual Christmas came by, I just packaged it up and just left it by their front door with a little note that says, love from your Secret Santa. Turns out their parents opened the door, saw this box, saw that it was like a little sus thing saying love from your Secret Santa, and apparently there was like a crazy family friend that was like going nuts at them and was like giving death threats to the family. So they thought it was a bomb. So
What?
They took it out into the back garden, opened it in the back garden with a rake, like 2 meters away with a
What?
rake, and then And then my mate saw it all happening, and he was like, "Oh, whoa, whoa!" and just had to like pick this dildo up in front of his parents and be like, "Oh, yep, I think that's from Aidan."
Wait, so when you said it was used, given to you, it was secondhand. Had someone taken it out and physically?
No. It was
still in its packaging.
Yeah, it was just given to someone in Secret Santa, and they gave it to me.
Was it still in its packaging?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, how did you know someone didn't use it?
Because it was in its packaging. It was fine.
Could someone have taken it out and put it back in?
Does it fucking matter?
I don't know, man. There's a lot going around these days.
Yeah, I'll give me that.
Apparently 1 in 5 people have an STD. I keep seeing all these adverts on YouTube. Just trying to enjoy myself after work. Or you fucking hear all these safe sex adverts. I'm safe, but still, you can never be too safe.
So I guess slightly some news. I love these collection trailers as much as the next guy, okay? Little short films that come out every time that they're doing a trailer. Written and directed by Pete McTighe, and I think executive produced by him as well. And they're a great way of just like promoting the new series, getting fans hyped to buy them. They're apparently not happening anymore. Pete McTighe said that they're being rested for a little bit. Apparently they've got like 1 or 2 more in the can in various stages, so we'll probably get a couple more. But then they're going to take a break. He says that they're like really hard work to get done. So they're going to be taking a little bit of a break. Now, before you give your 2 cents, because you got your negative face on already, Connor. I know where you're going with this.
How'd you know? Boy, you know me so well.
I do, just negativity. A would be, for me, the whole idea of they need a rest, maybe because they're so hard to do and stuff. Maybe not everyone has to be done by Pete McTighe. That's an answer. I love Pete McTighe's work. He's incredible on them, but...
Take a break.
Have a Kit Kat.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But B, I kind of want a break from them. As much as
what?
Yeah, as much as point A sounded like
This is the biggest. I'm so tired.
Plot twist.
Fuck, what's wrong with me? This is the biggest plot twist in 50% history. Hang on a minute.
I love them as much as the next guy, but 100%. I think how can you just keep topping them? You know, how can you keep upping them? I wouldn't mind. I still want some kind of celebration thing, but like the one for the very first one they did was, I think, for season 19, Davison's first season, and it was like basically just like a little comedic bit on a plane, from what I remember. Like it was super low key. It wasn't massive VFX or anything like that. I'm like, I don't mind if we maybe just go back to something like that. Like something, and it wasn't in character or anything like that. It was like Davison and I think Janet Fielding, like being them as people, which I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we have to keep going through these massive drama things. I kind of missed the comedy that came with just, you know, the old gang just having a laugh.
I think there was comedy in the bits, the short films.
Leela's Time War.
Only jumping kangaroos. Me old travelling partner's turned into a snake.
What are you on about?
That's what.
Is that what? So
that's my Tegan impression. Only kangaroos.
Oh.
Me mate's turned into a fucking snake.
Yeah, Dart.
Yeah, Dart. Me mate's turned into a fucking slivery snake.
No, not Adric. That fucking snake.
That snake, Adric. Okay, that's a plot twist. So you just want to see like Pete Davidson like smoking a doobie on a couch, being like, "Oh, remember when we made that TV show?"
I'm like, yeah, let's just strip it back. Let's
Doctor Who.
Put Pete in a studio against a white backdrop, and like just making a couple of quick gags, like him be like, "How's shit season 21?"
Yeah, now buy the box set. I'd rather just slide it off.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. Like playing to the campiness of it, like make. Like, I don't know, just something a little bit more simple. I do want... It's like I'm just like maybe slightly fatigued from the craziness of the ones that we've had. I do love them and very grateful for them, but I wouldn't mind just settling down a little bit. You feel otherwise?
Well, who am I to say, really? I mean, I don't collect these box sets. I know how much they mean to people, and I think honestly, every single time I would see that they put this much effort into it, I thought, wow, they actually are putting in effort, which I was wondering how long it was going to last, because we know how much Doctor Who just really cares about their fans, particularly when it comes to Blu-ray box sets. I guess my second point is, why not get Peter Davison to do a few? I mean, like, we know that he wanted to do the 5-inch Doctors too. Like, why can't he do a bit?
Right.
Yeah.
Do them. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Because Pete's too busy?
Well, he sort of... It was like a little vague. It was at a BFI, so I don't think there's an exact quote out there or anything, but he sort of said, like, we've got a couple done. They're, like, really hard to do. Sort of alluded that he was maybe a little bit busy, but... yeah, I think...
He's like, his husband, like, bloody hell, Barry, they're asking me to do another one of these fucking shorts for these dumbass collection sets. I'm fucking up to here with those bullshit skits.
Is this your Pete McTighe impression?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
No, we've seen Tales of the TARDIS give, my boy, who I love, I simp Phil Ford, he did the Target novel.
You can do him, yeah.
I've just named two great candidates. Phil Ford,
Peter Davison.
SNL's Pete Davison. We have them stacked up. They're quite frankly
SNL's Pete Davison.
Their legs are practically behind their fucking ears right now, ready to take it. Okay.
Okay.
It's just with this fucking TV show, it's just one fucking disaster after another. There's always it's like what's gonna happen next week? Like there's always some fucking bullshit happening. Millie Gibson, this shit. Season 1 delayed till May. Which we didn't know until we got the...
Yeah, so it wasn't really delayed, but when you title it like
let's break it to them once they know it's coming out in May. Let's break it to them that they could have it earlier. But
they could have had it.
Yeah, they could have had it. It's like, there's always some fucking bullshit around the corner.
My other thought about these trailers, right, being canned for a little bit, is that maybe the budget can be used elsewhere a little bit, purely... I'm sort of looking more at the 60s Who stuff, where it's like, there's a lot of missing episodes.
I see what you mean. Okay.
And B, a lot more episodes per season to remaster.
Okay, I get
So maybe they need more budget to remaster, because the seasons are like, they're like 26 episodes in like most of Who. So from like Third Doctor onwards, there's about 26 episodes per season. But then in like 60s Who, they're like 30 to 40 episodes per season. So they only put the cost up like a tiny bit each time. So maybe they need to put more budget towards that. I don't understand. Maybe, and I know this is a big if, and probably would never happen, and people are going to be like, you know nothing about animations. None of us know how much these big trailers cost to make. Maybe there's an element of some budget with that, plus some budget being pulled from somewhere else. Maybe there's a way that we could get some form of animation, or at least a better way to experience some of the missing episodes in the collection sets. Maybe not fully animated, but maybe like they can just do something more interesting with the stills. I don't know. Do you get what I mean, though?
Totally, yeah. Look, you're looking at it from a technical standpoint, which is good. Mm-hmm. I think it's a shame, because I know how much it means to people, and I always check them out. Like,
they don't fucking work on you though. You don't buy them.
I've explained my setup at home enough times to you, Aidan. If you choose not to listen, that's your fucking problem.
He goes home and he decides he doesn't like Doctor Who every time.
He
He steps out the office and he's like, "Thank fuck it, I'll think about that shit again."
I would collect them. I think I like to support stuff like this. I really do, and I think considering I've become a bit of a classic connoisseur myself.
Connoisseur.
I think it is worth supporting. I have felt a bit fucked by Doctor Who a bit recently, so the idea of spending my precious dollar is a bit is tedious the word, or is that just the word I came up with?
Tedious?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well done.
I don't know.
We got there.
But I simp Terrence Dicks. I'm keen for more of his Third Doctor shenanigans.
I couldn't tell you what he writes for. I think he writes a lot more.
Didn't you read a book by Terrence Dicks?
Maybe.
Oh no! I'm thinking of the season 7 head showrunner, who has a similar name.
Maybe.
Imagine having a last name Dicks.
That should be your last name.
What a stitch up!
Can we talk about something called the Ark in Space?
I am so fucking keen to talk about.
You're keen to talk about classic Doctor Who?
110%. 110.
You never like talking about classic Doctor Who, mate.
That's a lie. You're choosing to follow your narrative and not mine.
Last week I told you we're going to do Ark in Space.
I know I said last week.
You said this is the worst thing that you could ever ask me to do.
I don't go that far.
I don't ever want to watch classic Doctor Who ever
say
again. No, you told me. You said I'm fucking done with this podcast. If I have to watch one more episode of fucking classic Doctor Who,
Yeah, listen to Aidan over me, everybody. He's so right all the time.
Let's get on with the review.
Go ahead, Aidan. Read the
Ark in
synopsis.
Space. It was the second serial of season 12 of Doctor Who. It was the Fourth Doctor's first full post-regenerative story. It proceeded from a mild cliffhanger at the end of Robot, showing what happened after Harry Sullivan climbed into the police box in Unit's laboratory. It importantly established the location of Nova Beacon, which could be the narrative linkpin of the season. We're coming back to the space station.
Did you just spoil it?
It's not really. We'll be back.
Oh, you spoiled it.
I just read the synopsis.
I didn't want to know that.
I'm just reading the synopsis as we go. I'm just reading the synopsis as we go, Connor.
I'm so curious to know what it was, and now you fucking said it.
I can't. I've never read the synopsis in my life.
Oh, Aidan.
We're coming back to the Ark, all right?
Well, apparently, I don't know.
We're coming back to the Ark.
Great.
The Ark in Space had a somewhat... Okay, no, we don't need to go into all that. But essentially, the Doctor and the gang, they land on an Ark in space.
Ha! Who fucking knew?
Who knew?
Okay.
And this Ark has a whole bunch of humans that...
Very alien.
The humans fled Earth because there was a solar flare coming in. It was supposed to be like the last survivors of Earth.
Is this from End of the World?
No, this is like a solar flare before End of the World because the Earth is still in one piece currently. So it's just like a solar flare's come out and probably wiped out most of civilization and stuff like that.
Lucky.
So these guys, I think, did they say like 10,000 people or 5,000 people? In humanity, they were all sort of paired up with romantic partners and stuff like that, most compatible partners, onto the ship, launched off into space, in the hope that should Earth be fully destroyed, these guys will be the future of humanity. Now they oversleep their time; their alarm clock didn't go off.
Sounds like me every morning.
So the Doctor, Sarah Jane, and good old Harry Sullivan arrive on the Ark and start to notice that something's not gone to plan here.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of an infestation. A couple of little buggies that have infested the place.
Sluggy slugs. So I thought the mild connection between all this cereal. Not to be confused with Cheerios. Get it?
Oh, you go from like making the most horrific sexual joke, and then
horrific sexual joke do I make?
They're basically bending their legs over the back of their heads to making a fucking joke about cereal. Anyways,
so the connection is they come back to the Ark. I thought it had something to do with the TARDIS, because you mentioned in Robot that you don't see the interior of the TARDIS.
Because they don't come back to the space station until the finale. So a few things happen over the next few stories that keep them away from returning to the space station. So that's why because the TARDIS is on the space station. And they don't make it back to the space station until the last story of the season.
Right, so next week it's Sontarans.
Yep, Sontaran experiment.
There's no TARDIS. They go.
No TARDIS. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So you know how they teleport to Earth at the end of this story?
I love that.
So the next... And the Sontaran experiment, you're going to love this. It's only 2 episodes. It's a 2-parter.
Oh.
So they land on Earth and it goes from there.
You don't know how I feel about this episode. Can you go first? Because I want to build the suspense.
You're building the suspense? Okay.
I want to build the suspense.
Ark in Space, I think I read in the little booklet that comes in the collection set that it is the 21st most highest rated story since... this was in 2013, this poll was done. So, we're talking pre-Day the Doctor probably. But up till that point, this was the 21st, I think, highest rated story of all Doctor Who. And whilst, for me, it's probably not the 21st highest rated story of Doctor Who...
Sorry, does that include New Who?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Whilst for me, it's not the 21st, I do think this is a belter. I think it's a cracking story. It's loads of fun. It has a fantastic setup. It expands nicely in parts 2 and 3. And then part 4 has a good old ending. Connor, what do you think of the Ark in Space?
I think you're crazy.
You hated this?
Crazily right.
Oh my goodness me.
Your face.
I loved it. Goodness me.
How did I watched part 1 and 2 in the same night.
Really? You liked it that much?
I'm an Ark simp.
Do you like the Ark in Space? I'm glad we've got a good one for you here.
Do you know what? I'm watching this shit going, hey, maybe I am a classic Who fan. You know, yeah, this was great. Cool. The suspense, the story, it kept me engaged. I think it was Tuesday. I watched. Tuesday I watched 2 parts. Wednesday I watched 1. I finished today. I found it incredibly enjoyable. I found part 3 probably the weakest, but apart from that, I really loved it. I think they gave Harry more shit to do.
Can I
Yeah, please,
talk about that?
Go ahead.
Harry Sullivan. We were talking about in the Robot Review a couple of weeks ago. We were saying how
who is Harry?
Who's Harry?
Who is this man?
He's there, but he's not there for the whole story. And then in part 4, he drives a car, and you're like, oh, he's the new companion.
If you wouldn't have told me Harry Sullivan,
no idea.
The day, not the day of the week before, I wouldn't have known who he was.
In this serial, though, he has a lot to say.
Yeah.
He says a lot. He's got a lot of dialogue, a lot of him and Tom just like fucking around, which is fun.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, never in my life have I seen a character be more present in a story, but have so little to do in it.
Right.
This guy literally walks around the spaceship and he's like, oh, what?
He walks around barefoot.
He walks around, he's just in his fucking socks, flicking switches, almost choking Elizabeth Sladen to death in an oxygen-less...
Yeah, he just presses a button
and almost kills her.
Yeah, it's like, Harry, which button do you press? He's like, no,
I didn't press the button.
He's like, no, which one? He's like, I didn't. No, it's like, all right. I think, and then he fucking takes 10 years to remember which one he just pushed 10 seconds ago. Yeah, whilst poor Sarah Jane is literally suffocating to death.
And even like after that, he just like walks around the whole story. He just walks around talking. He doesn't do anything.
He's incredibly sexist too.
It's like the old school gentleman vibe. You know what I mean? Mate.
Women should be at home making the tea when I'm down the pub with the boys. Yeah. You know, it's like, all right, I guess this was different in your day.
Everything he does is just
sorry for respecting women.
He like walks around. He's like, surely there's a defibrillator around here or something. Opens cupboard, massive alien falls on top of him.
This isn't great. Do you know what was so funny? I think maybe why I enjoyed it so much because everyone in the comments was like, Connor's gonna hate it. You know,
Connor the hater.
Maybe I am the hater, but like, you know, I guess like I dragged my fucking heels to watch this. I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I want to do it, but I have to. 10 minutes in, I'm rubbing my hands together, eat my fucking Cheerios. That's what I do at night. I eat my Cheerios.
Oh, so there is a Cheerios reference. That's a callback joke, we call them.
I like the callbacks, you know. Eat my I guess that is true because I eat cereal when I watch it. At night, I eat cereal.
That's not usually how. Usually, cereal's more of a morning.
I'm a strange man.
Got that right.
But I was enjoying it, and I was like, so when is this meant to get bad? And also, Doug said in the comments that this is Russell and Steven's favorite classic episode.
Really?
And again, I asked the madmen today. I've asked you, and you both can't seem to remember this. I could be tripping, but I swear I heard Russell say that, or I read it, but someone had a quote from him saying that Ark in Space was a inspiration for Wild Beyond.
Well, it's a similar premise.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I could be tripping. Someone, if you know, please reach out.
Is Russell once again stealing ideas from Classic Who?
Well,
rubbing his hands.
I think that's kind of.
They're gonna love me.
But also, it's kind of like maybe a little bit of a Waters of Mars as well, with the, the touch and the spread and the.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the main plot being that there's like an alien sort of infestation slowly creeping in to this ship? They're taking over all the boys, turn them into fucking giant bugs, and they want to, because humans have destroyed all of them in all their habitats and stuff, so now they're looking for a new place and they want to invade the Ark.
Look, I'm pro animals. I've been vegetarian for 2 years.
So you were anti-Doctor and Co. You were pro the villains.
I'm not pro. I'm pro friendly protest. Would I call that a friendly protest? No. This is the kind of story I like, though. I love a base under siege story. This is the kind of, I mentioned Alien at the start. I think it's kind of Alien, like waking up from the pods. you know, I don't know if Aidan had come out. It probably hadn't.
Waking up in someone else's
Bed is
bed.
what I was waking.
Well, this would have
waiting
been
for.
1975, maybe? I think.
So that means yes or no.
It would help if I knew when Alien came out, wouldn't it?
It is kind of Alien though.
Hey, Google.
This again.
When did Alien come out?
In Australia, Alien came out on the 6th of December 1979.
Alien copied the Ark in Space.
Yeah, but Australia gets shit like 10 years
Wouldn't have been
later.
4 years after,
It's normally like
Doesn't
a
matter.
6-month wait.
at most.
But it gave me the vibes.
Yeah, I see it.
It gave me the vibes. So, you know, maybe it did copy it. I don't know.
Break it down, y'all. That was really lame. I'm never doing that again.
Who the man?
Sorry, I really need a burp. Can you talk for a second?
Sure. I guess I'll talk about something.
Don't worry, I'm back. You can stop talking
Okay.
now.
This
It's my time to talk.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about characters in this episode. We got, obviously, Tommy Boy. You notoriously not the biggest Tom. Like, you like Tom as much as your average Joe does, but he's not like your top tier doctor, you know what I'm saying?
Can I rebuttal?
Sure, but this is what you've said many times.
No, I haven't.
What? You've so many times been like, Tom, you know, he's not like one of my favorite doctors in the world, but like I can appreciate what he did in this episode. That's like genuinely what you say like every time we do a Tom story.
I think that I'm being a bit framed here, folks.
Oh, fucking... Okay, just answer... what did you think of Tom Baker in this story?
I am answering it. Fucking hell, you didn't even give me a chance to...
Yeah, you don't need to go into all the victimization
I literally opened my mouth and you're like, hurry up. All right, I'm telling you. I think that Tom is fantastic. Sorry for enjoying John Pertwee and Sylvester McCoy more.
I wasn't even attacking you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit attacked right now. He's fantastic in this. Like, there's a reason why he's just the most... Do you know what's so funny? I was thinking this. The biggest thing I can take away from Tom Baker's Doctor is that if I grew my hair out, like, on the sides more and didn't do a mullet, I would have the exact same hair as him.
Same.
You got straight... I wish I had straight hair. I don't. I have curly hair.
I'm sorry. What about we got Liz? You said Harry. You enjoyed Harry. Probably a little bit more than... I enjoyed Harry in like a silly way where I'm like, what is this clown doing now? Like, well, he's just clowning around the ship the whole time. Like, I'm going to press this. Oop. Accidentally killed Sarah Jane
Harry
Smith.
hate. You know, like... people like, Harry Sullivan's a piece of shit. And I'm like, no, he isn't. He isn't.
I will not be...
I love him.
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man.
How do you know that?
Because it's a meme.
How do you know that? That's Julia Gillard.
Yeah, I live in Australia and I'm very aware of Australian politics.
Are you?
Well, not very.
Probably
very
no one
stretch.
knows what the fuck we just said.
Any Australian listener is like, yes, get him, Jules.
Yeah, Jules
Jules.
was there, and so was Harry Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, he isn't. He isn't. I love him.
You like
mate?
him? You like?
Quid.
I don't
Two
like
quid,
your
mate.
This accent you keep doing on this show.
Sorry, man. Just trying to keep the dream alive. Look, I think that he's actually all right, and you know what's just so ridiculously funny is I've never fucking heard anybody talk about him before. Literally not a single person. And
Harry Sullivan, the missing companion.
I've fucking lived and breathed this show for years, since like 2005, and I've never.
Well, he only does a season.
I know, but so does Bill.
Yeah, but not a lot of people talk about Bill.
I talk about Bill. What?
I love Bill.
Not Stooky Bill, but Lady Bill.
That was good, man.
Thank you.
That was a good one.
Oh, sorry, I like I like Harry, okay?
Yeah,
I'm sick of this Harry fucking hate.
The thing is, like, this whole idea that I have of Harry just being this fool just walking around the ship.
He is
It
a
doesn't
fool.
help that he's in socks the whole fucking episode.
I like the throw. It's funny, they kind of do a bit where they imply the scarf is ruined.
Yeah.
Which is like funny when it's the most iconic piece of clothing from Doctor Who ever.
In his second story.
And it's like fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not ruined. Spoiler alert, folks.
Sarah's great in this one as well.
I love Liz.
She, I think in times doesn't get a lot to do because she's like passed out for a few like parts of the story. But there's like great scenes like that moment. It's a beautiful little moment between Liz and Tom where she's got to crawl through the air shaft, the air vent to get it.
He's like, you stupid woman.
You stupid woman. I would never trust such a stupid woman like you to do this. And it's all him trying to motivate her to do it. And look,
I don't need your help. It's like, yeah, you do. And then she routes around and pulls. Yeah,
it's kind of like a bit of a cruel way to get her to do it. But at the end of the day, if it's life or death, you know, whatever you can do to get her to find her own power within herself. And there's that lovely moment, where he like pulls her out.
Next time I need to go do something, I'll just yell sexist shit at her and see if it...
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man.
And at the end, I'll be like, didn't you learn something about yourself? Look, I think... And look, I know this is not how Doctor Who was written back in the day. You know, we've spoken a lot about how Doctor Who was written by people like my dad. You know, like fucking... white men in their 60s. No, fuck me. No, just like white men in their like 60s who don't talk about like mental health and if they're feeling sad, they have a fucking beer and go to bed. Like,
have a dart.
He hasn't smoked in like 15 years.
I'm not talking about your dad.
I see. Okay. I wonder where I got my smoking habits from.
And your misogyny and sexism.
No, but he like, you know, I wish in that scene I was like, I wish there was a bit where, you know, Liz, not Liz, like Sarah would just be like, you know, I knew he was still you. Like, you know, just knowing that it's John Pertwee's Doctor, there's like nothing. Like, and there wasn't in
John's
Robot.
Gone,
it's
mate.
like no one questions it. They're just like, there's nothing like Clara in Deep Breath where it's like, can I even trust this man? You know, there's none of that. It's just like, it's just what the Doctor does. He just change. If you changed your face, I don't know if I could trust you.
What if I changed my face into you?
Even worse.
And I look like you. And you have to sit down in the pod every week talking to yourself.
That would be the most... I don't know if we could air that.
Would you prefer it if I had your personality or my personality, but dressed as you?
As in wearing my clothes?
No, like I'm wearing your skin. Like I am you.
Oh my God, this is so deep.
I look like you.
I think the show works because we are mates who are different.
I could do it with me.
Okay. Well,
I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we'll see the views drop.
I know.
No.
They're like, double the Aidan. Fuck.
No. But
it would be terrible.
They drop with me as well. You know,
if it was double me, I just wouldn't shut the fuck up talking the whole time. It would just be one shitty, wanky film opinion after another.
Well, let's just say one of us is a letterbox here, and it's not me.
Okay.
Just saying, like,
best bit in the episode.
Yeah.
Came in part 1. We've sort of touched on it already.
Yeah.
But the Doc and Harry going under a table and like crawling with the table, and it's like this hilarious bit where this like probe is like trying to shoot them whilst they're crawling around.
Do you need
your
second shoe? No, I suppose not. I get that.
It's a good scene.
Yeah, throw in the shoe. Yeah, and look, I heard a lot of people talk about the bubble wrap monster, and I was like, what's this bubble wrap bullshit they're talking about? Anyway, I saw it. I ain't mad. I'm living in a day. I'm living in a day and age where, you know, they didn't have a good budget.
Yeah.
You know,
it's okay. I think it's like a lot of the time the scenes are dark enough that they kind of get away with it. This for me, in terms of like dodgy VFX sort of vibe, was my first introduction in Doctor Who in terms of seeing the old paint gun, where it's like it looks like they're shooting a laser, but it's just like paint. Like someone's gone on Microsoft Paint and just done it, which is fine and very of its time. But yeah, the bubble wrap stuff is fine. The full formed monster things are fine, I guess. Like obviously not that threatening in 2024, but you know, at the time, I bet they were quite spooky in those dark sets.
Just your quick thoughts on this.
Yeah, man.
You know, I saw Doug put in the comments about how these episodes were meant to be like viewed once and then
forgotten.
Forgotten. What's your thoughts, just quickly, on the idea of like Classic Who almost becoming like a popular thing to watch now. Because I said this on Mad Men with a Box podcast today in the comments, like, it seems like Classic Who's almost become more popular, and like people are willing, especially like someone like me who's like now actually 15 serials deep per se. I've seen about 15. I do want to watch them all. Do you think it's become more popular? Like, do you think people are, especially with the box sets now? Like,
I mean, the box sets are a massive thing. Because here's the thing: I think it's more accessible. So you've got the box sets and the fact that they're Blu-ray and restored in like the original film prints and remastered a lot of the time, and that, so they all look fantastic. And that you also have the Whoniverse on BBC iPlayer, so you can just try a random episode that you've always heard about and throw that on. It's so much more accessible, which is great.
Definitely, yeah.
And then B, I think when you are like, 10 to 20 years old, the idea of watching classic Doctor Who is like, I don't want to watch that old shit. But as you get older, and at least for me, my what's the word I'm looking for? My taste in film and TV has drastically broadened since I've gotten older, and in particular, I don't look for the most the most flash shows. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse than watching the Marvels on Disney Plus.
Came out yesterday,
but it's like I love things. The other night I was watching Casablanca and the lovely 4K remaster, which was great. And me 6 years ago, I think maybe I would have watched it, but I wouldn't have gotten into it. Do you know what I mean? I might have put it on because I'm like, it's a cult classic, but never would have engaged in it. I think when you're older, you do find that stuff a little easier to watch because you understand the context of the time. And I think if you just get to a certain point and you can just invest yourself in the performances and the craft of what they are trying to do on a small budget, and I think sometimes you can't quite do that when you're a kid. You're just looking to be entertained.
Exactly, yeah.
Doug's analogy of I think it was Doug that said this, thinking of it as a play, I think is a great way of doing it.
That really is. No, that was a bang comment. Yeah, it's so true. Sorry, I'm bringing up this Mad Men with a Box live stream a lot, but
plugging our competitors.
One of the
fuck those guys.
One of the guests made a really good point again, saying, Classic Who is something to be viewed after being a fan for a long time.
Yeah,
like the fact that you love the show and then you go and delve into these classics, like, there's no way you would recommend this shit to someone who's trying to get into the show.
Yeah,
but I generally think, and I know I'm kind of fucking bipolar with fucking Classic Who. Like, I love it one day and I hate it the next. Like, I understand that,
but it is like that. Seriously.
It is like that. I'm sorry, but I enjoy being a Classic Who fan with this serial. Like, I think I enjoyed it more than the last two episodes we did, which was Robot and
Terror of the Autons.
Terror of the Autons, which surprised me because I love Pertwee or Pertway. I think it's just interesting to me. I don't know. This one really.
No, it's so fair though. Like, even now for me, and I've watched well over half of Classic Who now, and still, like, I will get one of these new box sets and be watching them all for the first time, and like I'll like find an absolute banger, and then I'll just get a story, and it's such a dud that I struggle to get into the stories that come after it because I feel a little bit blah about it all. God, these Canadian clubs are making me burp like crazy. I'm like trying so hard to like not.
Hey man, it's the suds.
Suds. But yeah, so I don't think you're alone on that. I think Classic Who's very hit or miss. There is some stories out there which you are gonna hate to go through, but you can't blame me every time just because I do the schedule and pick the episodes, because we're gonna have to watch them all eventually. And you don't want to do all the hits at the start and just have to do all the shit ones down the line.
Can I just say, and I've noticed I've said a few controversial things on the show. Like, I made a joke about euthanasia last week, which I thought was maybe a bit too far. I say bits because I'm trying to be funny and entertaining, and I know I make fun of Aidan. The truth is that I love him, and I'm not actually mad at him.
It's guy love. It's all it is.
It's Barbie,
guy love. It's mine and his.
Is this from?
It's guy love.
Is this from? Is this from Mean Girls or?
It's from Scrubs. The musical episode.
Which I have.
JD and Turk.
I have seen all of Scrubs except for season 9.
I've recently just got back into rewatching it. I'm on season 8 now.
Weren't you watching along with the
podcast? And I fell a bit behind on the pod, so it was like early season 8.
don't think I could watch Scrubs again. I'm sorry.
Really? Just because of the length?
No, I love it. I love a network show like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that I could. Can I say something?
Sure.
Quickly. So I got this this bug's been going around my house, and I got it really late on Monday, and I was watching the England versus Indian game, and it ended, and I was like really sick. It's like a 24-hour tummy bug, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I know I'm gonna have weird fever dreams tonight, so I'm gonna watch The Sopranos season 2 final,
Right.
which is notoriously an episode where Tony it's a season final where Tony gets food poisoning and has like a load of weird fever dreams. And it's my favorite episode of Sopranos of all time. And I rewatched it and I was like, fuck, The Sopranos is such a great show.
Yeah. I
And
gotta
like,
do it.
I rewatched last night on YouTube like all these like analysis videos, and I was like, and by the way, I did have weird fever dreams, but I was like, god damn, like I do want to hit other TV shows. Like, I mean, I've watched White Lotus, like I'm watching the new True Detective, like I am watching new shit, but
No
I'm
one's
like,
adding at you, Connor.
I feel a bit added, you know.
By the void.
I mean, I said to you today, I'm like, look, man, like, I would love to. I respect you so much for watching the stuff that you do and the amount that you do, but I just can't do it anymore, man.
I can't do that with shows. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I watch a lot of movies. Yeah,
You used to be the opposite.
I flip flop a lot.
Remember,
but
you used to be like really.
TV,
there was a
not
time
much
on this
movie.
on this show, sorry,
Yeah.
where you were like, TV's to go.
Yeah. Now I've flip flop. Now I think I'm at the now. I just sort of prefer that like smaller narrative, like
narrative,
2 hours.
I get that.
I don't want to come back every week for 10 weeks or whatever. Like, I don't mind it. Like, and I do love TV, but
Well, all of Ted dropped at once.
I
thought it was good.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. It looked
I watched
alright
it.
from
I
what I've
watched it.
seen.
I thought it was good. I liked it.
Ark in Space.
Yes.
Yes. So we're okay with
Oh, can I just say quickly though? So, what do you think of? This not to tangent off again, but can I just say? I remember someone tell me what Confidential this was from years ago. Watching Confidential in the UK, I remember seeing someone was referring to this episode from an episode in Russell's era. I don't know. They were like, "Hey, we were trying to take inspiration from this." A scene in Ark in Space where a guy gets touched and the infection spreads, and every time you see him in a different scene, it spread more. I don't know what episode the Confidential was from.
what could that be? Who gets an infection in an episode?
It wasn't Wars on Mars before you said.
No.
But I remember seeing that and being like, what on God's green earth
Green.
is this episode? And now I finally watched it. I love that, you know, the slow transition. I think, and I always try to think this with Classic Who, like, you know, it's very easy now to watch it in 2024 and be like, you know,
Bubble wrap.
do you think I don't have my fucking sister and mum walk past when I'm watching it going, what is this shit? You know, you think I don't have that?
Do you like the guy in the bubble wrap sleeping bag?
Yes. Yes, I actually do. Because I respect it, Aidan.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Yeah.
I respect it. Okay,
Respect.
I've been on a few film sets. You know, I know it ain't easy. You know, I know it ain't easy. You know, like, I understand. Like, you know, like, but I had a very special moment today. I guess we'll. You know, I hadn't seen my nephew George for 7 days. He'd been in Cervantes, which is about 2 hours away. And I was watching, he was asleep in my sister's room, and, you know, I was watching Ark in Space Part 4. And he ran out, and he saw me, and he was really excited. It was so cute. And I don't get gushy normally, but I was like, man, I really fucking miss this kid. Like,
Right.
so I really missed him. And I was watching Ark in Space Part 4 when he came out, and, you know, he came and sat down on the couch with me, and I was hugging him, and the green bugs were coming out, and I was like, look, and he was like, he loved it. And I'm like, isn't this beautiful?
Yeah.
Like, isn't this beautiful?
You're making a Whovian out of him.
I'm sorry?
You're making a Whovian out of him.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, this was from like, what, the 70s? Like,
Yeah.
like, isn't that beautiful? Like, even to
Real
this day,
shit.
if there's anything you can take away from Doctor Who, it's like, you know,
The kids love it.
like, you know, it's like he didn't care about, he didn't see set design or all he saw was an interesting character, which was these buggy things, and he loved it. You know,
we've got to talk about those iconic sets though.
Please go ahead.
The sets are fantastic.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Like I love like the two stories of it. It feels very much like, you know, stories like New Earth, and there's a few others in
Satellite 5
in Doctor Who where
Satellite 5 vibes with the exterior shots. So.
Oh yeah, definitely Satellite vibe. Yeah. Satellite 5 vibes there.
Satellite vibe. It was a Satellite vibe. Yeah.
But no, like I was thinking like New Earth. You know, like there's that shot where they look up and there's all the different like cells with the infected people in.
Yes.
This feels very like reminiscent of that.
Russell, I'm shaking my fist.
Just stealing all his best ideas from Doctor Who.
He loves it.
From Classic Who. Yeah, so I love the sets, and I even love like the corridor sets. I wish they'd played a little bit more with the idea of the power being off, because those opening scenes where the power's off are really quite
definitely
spooky. I was thinking about this earlier this week, that I think my first movie that I watched and sort of understood that people actually thought about this and put thoughts into the shots they chose, into the lighting of scenes and performances, they were actually intentional about stuff, was Alien.
Yes.
And so I actually think, because my dad showed me that at quite a young age.
Yeah.
And I actually think that is part of why I really love really deep space. I don't want to say, deep space sci-fi. Like sci-fi isn't my go-to thing. Doctor Who is sort of like my one main sci-fi thing. But when I'm watching movies and stuff, I don't really watch much sci-fi or anything like that. But my favorite episodes of Doctor Who, and I bring this up all the time on the show, is when they do something that feels like a deep space episode.
Yeah.
That's why I love Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways so much, is because it's like dark, dingy space corridors. You know, like Laser Tag? You know, there's one in Joondalup called Darklight.
Yeah.
Joondalup is a suburb somewhere in WA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got Darklight, and it's that dark, deep space.
Is it still called Darklight?
It is called Darklight.
Holy smokes, it's like the same name since I was a kid.
Yeah. But yeah, that vibe that Alien has about it, I love when Doctor Who sort of delves into that a little bit.
You'll absolutely love Sarah Jane Adventures episode 4.
I can't wait.
That is a laser tag episode.
Woo!
Yeah.
But Ark in Space, they like do you know what I mean? Those opening scenes before they get the power on.
Totally,
really cool.
I absolutely get that, and also I think like sound design wise, like they play with silence a lot. You know, there's a lot of scenes where silence is used.
Yeah, where the score cuts out and
cuts out.
On that.
Good way to tell that I've watched all 4 parts is me talking about the ending.
I've got to test you. Like every time we do a Classic Who, I've got to ask you a question about part 4.
By the way, that became a big meme.
Good.
Even Geek's Handbag messaged me and was like, "Hey, you know,
can't do a fucking review if you not watch the fucking episode,
it's like,
mate."
Yeah, I wonder if that's ever happened on my podcast. I was like, look, you know, I can honestly say it only happened once. But I have seen all 4 episodes. I can confirm it. By the way, I think a continuous thing which I noticed from last week was Sarah was upset that the creatures had to die. Mm-hmm. And she was upset that the robot had to die. Sarah is such a beautiful character.
Yeah, she's looking out.
That she always cares about... She always sees the kind side in... Even if they're trying to be evil, like she always sees the kindness and like... I think eventually that's what the Doctor... You know, we always see with fucking... The Doctor nowadays, like, well, not Jodie, but not Jodie's Doctor. She's like, kill those Daleks. But like, you know,
get your cancer.
Yeah, get it. You know, but it was. I guess in like David Tennant's Doctor, mostly was like, you know, I'll always give you a chance. You know, and like,
but that was his arc as well.
That was his arc.
Was that?
You know,
he tries to kill all the Ratnos kids.
I warned you. Yeah, I know he killed the Ratnos kids.
No, I get your point.
But it's like, yeah, you know, it's like. I love how Sarah always gave them the benefit of the doubt, you know, and she is actually she is distressed again that it came to this. Like, she is that beautiful character that it's no wonder she had a spin-off. It's no wonder people love Sarah so much. Liz Sladen, who we send our love to you, Liz, like, you know, love beautiful.
What, can we talk about the ending a little bit?
Of course.
A few things to talk about there. Firstly... I love me like an old school when Doctor Who has like a little practical spaceship on it, like, you know, they've done a miniature and they blow it up. That stuff's always fun. So
killing those fucking
the leader bug man takes the other bug men in the shuttle.
Yeah.
So his human side sort of takes over, and he holds on for dear life.
It's sad in a way, man.
It is, and he does. They say it's like the human sacrifice, right?
It is.
He goes and launches. There's that great scene with Tom where he's about to launch the shuttle and sacrifice himself and get like blown up, and then the other guy saves him. But yeah, end of the day, bug leader, human man, blows up the escape shuttle or whatever, and so all them bug people, the bug homies, are gone, dead, and now they want to go and see if Earth is still habitable, return all of these humans that are on the Ark to Earth, but they got to fix the teleports. They can only send like 3 people down at a time at the moment. So the Doc, Harry, and Sarah have a cute fucking ending. I love that ending so much, where they're like, yeah, let's go down and let's make sure we can get that teleport working on the other end or something, and they all step on there. And the Doctor's like, I didn't invite you to. I was going to do this on my own. And then it's like that cute sort of thing where they're like, we're going to do this. With us. We're going to do it together, like that sort of vibe. And they get changed in the TARDIS. They get their rain gear and wellies on.
It's funny they do change. I like that.
Yeah, it's like they know that where they're going to in the next episode is like a bit of a muddy cliff.
So can I take a guesstimate here?
Yeah,
they return to Earth and the Sontarans have taken over.
It's not that far, but they go to Earth and there's some Sontarans hanging out. It's not like it's been invaded and occupied by Sontarans.
War of the Sontarans, if you ask me.
I'm looking forward to next week in terms of the story, but I'm not looking forward to, on the Blu-ray, and it was impossible to get a replacement disc in Australia for them, I think. But the first part of the Sontaran 2-parter, the audio's like really tinny and like just wasn't.
Was that your disc only? Or?
No. It's everyone's. They did replacement discs for everyone. But in Australia doesn't give a fuck. So they were like, no thanks.
Who cares down under?
I was like emailing them, and it was like, no response. Like, great, thanks.
Right. So
I'm dreading that. But yeah, did you like all that stuff at the end there? Wholesome ending, but also sad ending with the explosions and killing the bugs.
Yeah. No, I thought. All in all, I think that part 3 for me was probably the weakest.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was a little bit of, bit of filler here and there. But 1 and 2, which again, unlike me, watched literally back to back.
Mm.
Part 3, 4, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think it leads into, should I say next week? I don't know. But it leads in really well.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Nice little cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm on board with it. I think I think it goes pretty fast. I don't think it gets too bogged down at any.
No, I
points.
don't think so either.
And I think the plot as well. It's like really nice because it's like just enough plot that it's not overcomplicated. It's
I was
literally
just about to say that. Yeah.
It's like these aliens are trying to turn the humans into aliens, take over this.
I was just about to say that. I think what makes it so good is that it is like a kind of simple storyline that doesn't have too many characters.
Yeah.
The villain is quite simple in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
It works as a based on the Siege story, and I really found myself enjoying it.
You find yourself spending way more time just with the characters.
Yes,
which is really nice.
Which is what I like.
Did you like the humans? Like not obviously the TARDIS team, but
like unfortunately, I feel like a lot of classic stories, like the guest cast of the week kind of gets a bit thrown away. Sure, I suppose like one of them died, and I was like, "Ooh, okay,
Rip.
all right." Like,
R.I.P.
Also, he could have walked away, like he could have ran away. He just kind of stands there and it's like, as literally a slug. It's moving pretty slow, but he decides to stand there for 10 seconds screaming, and he's made us try to help me. He literally runs through the door and he's like, "So and so's dead." So okay,
Rip the goat.
If that was my friend, I would prefer he tried a little harder. Can I just say though, I haven't seen a classic episode with the Sontaran, so I'm very excited.
Yes, you have. We watched The Two Doctors.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah,
shit.
Don't worry, I forgot about it too.
Fuck, I have.
I always forget they're in that fucking story. I forget I've seen that story and I've seen it twice.
That's kind of loosely though.
They're the main villain in it.
there's that weird fucker who's trying to cook Perry. He's kind of the main villain,
Dude, the Two Doctors is cooked.
Isn't he? That is a cook story.
That's fucked up. That shouldn't be legal.
I felt icky watching that.
Yeah, I felt icky.
It was like, we're on our last leg.
Yeah.
Okay, true. I have. All right. Sorry.
But yeah.
My first proper...
full-blown Sontaran.
Do you know what I love as well? I'm going to do another full serial because I've done...
Full
we
series.
should say Valiard
Of course.
has passed.
That's very sad, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but...
Michael... Fuck, no, I'm going to get his name out of...
I will just say this while you do that. I think the Valiard was incredible as a villain. Mm-hmm. Is it a villain? Can you say that, I guess?
He's a villain, yeah.
All right, cool. It's been a while since I watched it. But
Michael Jaston.
Yeah, I think, I guess, like, I know a lot of people have said that, like, Toby Jones's character and Amy's Choice is similar to the Valiard, and I think it's an incredibly interesting character that I've always found fascinating. I thought he was great.
Playing into that darker side of the Doctor.
Exactly,
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so R.I.P. Michael Jaston. He's an awesome part of Doctor Who lore and history. And
crazy, he did like a photo shoot like a week ago or something.
Yeah, I've seen a few, I think he does a few of the behind the sofas. I think I've seen him on one before. I could be making that shit up completely. But
for season 20...
Yeah, I think he must be that one with Colin, yeah.
They did one for Child, didn't they?
Yeah.
Do you own that set?
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be awesome for you doing a full season. I like this going through week by week. It's
I actually really like
good,
it.
Hasn't it?
I think it actually also helps though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not against, like, say if fucking Russell's like, oh, the Autons are coming back in season 1. Like, I'm not against, like, doing Pertwee's fucking first episode with the Autons, but, like, yeah, I think if we're also just for an audience standpoint,
following along with us,
it's like, yeah,
so maybe we like pick seasons and we run season by season.
I'm actually not against that.
Okay.
Because I also feel like just running around each season is kind of trippy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
it'd be nice to have a bit of flow, and
I like it. And I know you kind of only did it because of this loose connection, but it's like, yeah,
maybe we've found something good here.
I'd happily look, and I know I had to explore some darker sides, like, Trout and stuff.
Dude,
like,
60s Who week by week, I can't. Like, I didn't mind 60s Who, but I feel like if we talk about it week by week, that's going to be a struggle.
But isn't that the point?
To torture ourselves?
Well, look, I'm also obviously understanding that people are watching and want to be entertained. I'd like to think we could bring a good spin to it.
Okay, all right.
Look,
you heard it here first, guys.
I ain't trying to say we should do it.
every fortnight, we're going to be doing a classic Who review, and we're going to be going season by season. Not from like we're not going to go on to season 13 now. We finish season 12, but we'll finish season 12, and then we'll go, let's do a Pertwee season now.
Well, this is the funny part of the show where I'm sure you guys, you know how well the show is run. You probably think that we know this kind of thing. This is the fun part of the show where I ask Aidan, what are we doing next week?
Next week, folks. Oh, let's get excited.
I have no idea.
Next week it is.
I should start bringing in ideas, maybe.
It's our monthly ranking.
Okay, so we're doing another season?
Yeah, so we've been ranking seasons of Doctor Who, and now it's becoming a monthly segment. No, so I thought we could do like just random seasons, so that way we're not doing... Because if we do all of Russell's seasons, that's where all the views are.
I see.
And if we review Jodie's seasons, I'm sorry to say it, the views on the channel aren't quite where they are when we're doing Russell's seasons. So I reckon we just like pull random seasons, shake it up, kind of like with the collection box sets, how they come out randomly.
So...
Next week.
What if you pulled out your fucking...
Let's do it. Let's go crazy, mate. Let's do Series 6. Matt Smith's second series. We're going to rank every episode
I love it.
of Doctor Who Series 6
I actually kind of vibe that.
Yeah?
I do.
Well, we're running a show here, mate.
I do. I kind of vibe that.
We got good stuff. Lots of cool stuff happening on the pod. Lots of... Some sneaky guests lined up, but all that stuff's sort of going to come into fruition much later in the year. So
I love that. I will say this. Yeah, we do have a lot of stuff cooking in the background. I think that a lot of stuff does happen that we don't tell you guys because there's a bit of a a curse where when we say it,
they get cancelled.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Or get cancelled. But yeah, we have been cooking in the background with some actually really cool stuff, which I think will surprise you and be really interesting. And yeah, we are constantly working on the show. I hope you guys know.
Can I get a rating for Ark of Space out of 10, please, Connor? I just want to throw context in there. I've been saying when I rate Sarah Jane Adventures, I'm not going to ever compare those scores to the scores I give to New Who. And I'm going to start sort of doing that with Classic Who, because I don't think you can be...
Of course.
Classic Who is going to... like a 9 out of 9 Classic Who is not going to compare to a 9 out of 9
So
New
we're
Who.
talking watching this at the time.
Well, it's more so let's just compare it to the 26 seasons of Classic Who, and that's sort of our thing. So we can compare this.
I'm tossing between... I would give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I give it 7.5 as well. Fist bump. Banger of a story.
I was tossing with an 8.
Yeah.
I think I have been sent more with a classic episode, but I think Dead Set, like, seriously, like, it was actually really enjoyable, which was the most enjoyable thing, was considering everyone said I would hate it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I actually did. I think that's the biggest shock takeaway, is that I actually did enjoy it.
Right.
So,
so we'll be
really enjoying watching Classic Who at the moment. So
we'll be back next week to talk Series 6, but in a fortnight's time we'll continue Season 12, and we'll be doing the Sontaran Experiment.
So classic with Season 4 being called the Sontaran Strategy, and it's like you can see where they get it from.
They just copy it, mate.
That's why I love watching Classic Who, because you do get the references and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's awesome.
Love the show, Connor. Good stuff today.
Love our show.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, man. I love it. Can I just say, man, this
cringe
fucking
alert.
show means so much to me.
Cringe alert.
Can I say it?
Cringe alert.
This actually does mean so much to me, and I don't know if I get to thank you all a lot. And Aidan, I saw at the pub the other night. You were very drunk, but I still love seeing you.
It was
and our tweet went hard. I ran to you, and I love doing the show with you, and I love that people even give a shit about what we say. So
it's a blast, as always.
We're keeping the dream alive, and thank you all for watching, because I really do fucking appreciate it more than you can ever believe.
Thank you for doing this with me, Connor, and thank you, listeners, for sticking through with us in a time where Doctor Who isn't the most exciting it's ever been.
You ever asked about the glasses?
No, I'm not going to.
They're my safety glasses at work.
Are you wearing when you're having sex? It's Aidan and Connor's podcast.
Jesus.
We're doing Doctor Who reviews.
Doctor Who.
Doing Doctor Who reviews. Do.
Did you see Matt Smith texted Judy being like, "Good job, mate.
Good job.
You did great."
I don't watch The Crown anymore, though. Did you read that?
Did he say that?
He was like, I loosely follow it, but I'm a bit more up to date with Doctor Who.
I ain't in it. Did he actually say that? He said, "I don't watch The Crown, but I watch Doctor Who."
I'm misquoting him here, but I don't think he watches Doctor Who, but I think he like follows it a bit closer. He says like, I like to keep an eye on Doctor Who. Is what he said.
Yeah, I think I don't expect. I think even Peter's like,
I don't expect anyone to watch
fuck
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Fuck
I ain't
that
coming
shit
back.
show.
They have to pay me $1 million fucking to come back. I ain't doing that shit again.